Hello fellow LEGO friends! Today we are taking a look at a LEGO set that completely surprised me. Not just with how it looks, but also with how cleverly it's engineered. I can honestly say that this is one of the best sets from the BrickLink Designer Program. It's a dark, gothic, haunted mansion full of storytelling, ingenious mechanisms, and over 4,000 pieces of architectural precision. We will take a closer look at the beautifully crafted exterior, and I will also show you the hidden traps, secret chambers, and one of the best play features I have seen in years. This set truly feels exceptional. So let's take a closer look at the long-awaited adventure in Transylvania. So let's start with the minifigures. There are 14 included in this set, and they definitely help bring the story to life. Though I can't help but feel a few of them should have been swapped out. First, we get a well-dressed family of 4, mom, dad and 2 daughters, all looking quite refined. Then there is the classic treasure hunter type, clearly chasing riches alongside an explorer who seems more interested in uncovering the castle's mysteries. We also get Dracula himself, and a ghostly figure, and a knight in armor. It's a strong mix of town folks, adventurers, and spooky residents. That said, a couple of remaining characters feels like they have been included simply to round out the total to 14 minifigures. Honestly, I think those could have been left out and replaced with a few more haunted or horror-themed figures to better match the castle's eerie atmosphere. Now, let's step into the set and begin the adventure. The first impression is incredibly strong. The set looks absolutely stunning. The dark gothic mansion aesthetic is beautifully contrasted by the vibrant autumn foliage in red, yellows and oranges. Those rich fall colors break up the darkness of the build and add a surprising warmth that makes the entire scene feel alive rather than gloomy. On the right side, a staircase leads up to the main entrance. Instead of going straight up, it slopes and curves towards the front door, naturally guiding your eye into the build. It feels elegant yet dramatic at the same time. I especially appreciate the decorative handrail, the detailed lamppost, and the statue-like sculptures that frame the approach. The entrance itself is nicely adorned, with small hidden details tucked along the sides and even a clever little tunnel running beneath the stairs. Above the tunnel hangs a flag featuring a bat emblem, reinforcing the haunted theme. Off to the side, there is a small graveyard scene, and surprisingly, Tiago's printed tile makes an appearance, a subtle nod you might recognize from an official LEGO Haunted House set. A large, twisted dead tree looms nearby, scattering fallen leaves across the ground. The foliage throughout the build is fantastic, and the autumn palette truly makes everything pop against the dark gothic structure. The facade behind it all is nothing short of mesmerizing. I love the arch window frame built using Technic bricks. It's such a clever technique, and I will definitely be borrowing for my own builds. The 2 cross details with the arch add an even more character. If I had one small critique, it would be that the window on the upper floor isn't perfectly aligned with the center axis of the arch, which is slightly noticeable, but the overall construction and detailing more than compensate for it. Along the side, you will find additional windows that each use different building techniques, yet they all complement one another beautifully. It's hard to pick a favorite because every design feels thoughtfully executed. The Oriel window on the left in particular uses some very smart techniques, but I will save that for later. Turning the set around to the back, you are immediately struck by the sheer level of detail. The Gothic-style windows are beautifully crafted, and there's so much to take in that you hardly know where to look first. From the ground level all the way to the roofline, the detailing is consistently impressive. On the final side, more foliage and graveyard elements continue the theme, maintaining visual interest from every angle. The roof design is also excellent. While I might personally have chosen a slightly different color, but that's purely subjective. The spiral roof section on the side is particularly striking, showcasing excellent part usage and inventive building techniques. Overall, the exterior looks phenomenal. It's genuinely one of the best looking LEGO sets I have seen, possibly even the best. Now, stepping inside through the grand entrance, you arrive in a central hallway. To access the interior, the entire building opens in half, a feature that's incredibly well designed. Once opened, the house almost feels like a completely different set. It genuinely gives off a two-in-one design impression, which I really appreciate. The interior is divided into several distinct rooms, each with its own theme and personality. Right by the entrance, an armed knight stands guard as our explorer cautiously steps forward, only to immediately trigger the first booby trap. With the turn of a small dial, a trapdoor swings open and drops him straight into a jail cell below. It's such a fun and effective play feature. The mechanism is relatively simple. It pushes the trapdoor up and down, but it works smoothly and adds a great sense of interactivity. Next to the jail cell is a cozy little library, likely filled with diaries and secrets about Dracula hidden among the books. The floor detailing here is nicely done, adding texture and character to the space. Beneath the floor, you can even spot what appears to be one of the Dracula's unfortunate victims, a dark little storytelling detail that enhances the haunted atmosphere. Stepping into the opposite room, we reach what is probably the true highlight of the entire set, Dracula's tomb. With a twist of another dial and a shift in the wall mechanism, the coffin lid opens and Dracula dramatically rises from within. Turn the dial the other way, and he smoothly lowers back down and the tomb seals itself shut. It's an incredibly satisfying function. Honestly, it feels like something straight out of a classic LEGO playset, and I'm genuinely impressed to see this level of functionality in a BrickLink Designer Program release. If we climb the stairs, we enter a room that feels like a grand music hall. Along the wall stands a massive pipe organ with a cleverly constructed bench. But the truly standout feature is the chandelier, another trap. With a quick release mechanism, it dramatically drops down. Even better, it can easily wound back and reset, so the fun can be repeated over and over. If we climb the ladder all the way to the top of the house, there is still another room to discover. The roof section, the only removable part of the set, can be lifted to reveal a hidden treasure chamber. It's guarded by a gargoyle, a piece I have always wanted to see in person and absolutely love. Inside the room are scattered coins, goblets, a candle, and a golden key. Perhaps the treasure is protected by a ghost, or maybe there's something even more mysterious at play. The story is entirely up to you, and that is what makes this house so special. The set is truly packed with storytelling potential. To sum up the specs, the set contains 4056 pieces and 40 minifigures. When it was originally released, it retailed for $350, which was a very fair price considering the size and complexity of the build. However, since it belongs to Series 5 of the BrickLink Designer Program, it is no longer available throughout the official LEGO website. Your only option now is the secondary market, where prices are unsurprisingly significantly higher. Honestly, for that piece count and the minifigure lineup, especially with architecture this elaborate and packed with play features, the original value was excellent. If you missed out on this one at a retail price, you truly missed an outstanding set at a very reasonable cost. As is typical with BrickLink Designer Program releases, there is no printed instruction manual included. Instead, you follow the building instruction digitally, either online or through the LEGO Builder app. The set also includes several stickers, which help enhance some of the finer detail throughout the build. And now, let's talk about the building techniques, because there is a lot to unpack here. I was genuinely impressed by how thoughtfully this set is engineered. I'm not afraid to say that some of the techniques even surpass what we see in official LEGO sets. When you begin the build, the ground floor relies on more traditional construction methods, so it comes together fairly quickly compared to the upper level. That said, even at this stage, the mechanisms that allow the tomb to open and Dracula to rise is brilliantly executed. It's smooth, reliable, and incredibly satisfying to assemble. I also really enjoy building the main staircase leading to the upper floor, but once you reach the upper section, that's where the real magic happens. The oriel window in particular is constructed in a way that's honestly beyond my understanding. It relies heavily on Technic elements, yet the final result doesn't look Technic at all. It blends seamlessly into the Gothic aesthetic. That balance between structural complexity and visual elegance is seriously impressive. The decorative elements throughout even remind me a little of LEGO Icons Rivendell. Intricate, layered, and thoughtfully integrated into the architecture. And the way the house opens is exceptionally well executed. I have to specifically mention the moving wall mechanism. As the set opens and closes, the wall shifts position seamlessly. That engineering detail genuinely blew me away. It uses a principle similar to LEGO Lion's Night Castle, but here it arguably works even better. The structure is built around a large central hinge system that is easy to operate and surprisingly sturdy. Even more impressive is how different the set feels when it's closed. The transformation between the open display mode and the closed facade is so well designed that it almost feels like two separate sets. The darker color palette might not be everyone's cup of tea, but for me it works beautifully. The vibrant foliage in reds, yellows and orange breaks up the dark palette in a way that feels intentional and balanced. One important aspect to mention is the depth. When opened, it's slightly more compact than you might expect, but it is definitely not as shallow as the Creel house. The layout still provides enough space for meaningful interior detail and play. There are several techniques here that I will absolutely apply to my own build. The detailing is top tier. The Technic integration is ingenious. Personally, the only thing I might have changed is the roof color, which feels slightly too bright to my eye, but I understand the choice, as it helps break up what would otherwise be an entirely dark structure. Overall, the level of detail inside and out is exceptional. Creative part usage, layered textures, architectural flourishes, everything feels premium. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I built a set of this quality. Thank you for sticking with me until the end of this video. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss future LEGO content. And if you're planning to add any LEGO set to your collection, consider using the affiliate links in the description to support my channel. Thank you in advance. Thanks again, and until next time, happy building!